that's got nothing to do with Islam, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? There has been the oppression.
Sincerely.
Yeah,
Sincerely.
Sincerely. Yeah.
Reflecting on what I just mentioned about Isaiah, prophet of God.
Yeah.
With this book, now our position with the Bible, we don't believe in all of it totally. We don't
You only believe in what?
There's certain things that confirm.
Yeah, so whatever benefits your belief.
What God confirms. That's fine. You can say whatever you want. You can say what cherry
you're gonna call
whatever.
it. Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, you can say it's cherry picking. We say God has given us a
I'm the
criteria
same.
to judge.
I'm the same with all books I read.
Now just in that alone, you can still see that this prophecy about 8,000 BC, 800 BC, and Muhammad who's 600 CE, we can see now that it fits identically and it doesn't apply to nobody else except for him. If you're going to accept Isaiah as a prophet, you've got to accept Muhammad as a prophet. And if you're an Old Testament believing person, you cannot accept, how can you accept Habakkuk? How can you accept Obadiah? What criteria?
See me, like I believe in everything as people come with it. So a Hindu man, I believe everyone as you told your story.
You don't reject anything comes with.
As you tell your story, that is your story.
But you don't reject anything.
I've got no time machine.
That's fine.
So because I haven't got no time machine, I've got no place to tell you what you're saying is lies. But I do know, this is what I do know for a fact.
Yeah.
I know people from all different faiths. I know there's people that haven't come across Islam.
Yeah.
And just because they haven't come across Islam, I know for a fact that just someone who claims to be Muslim or even calls Islam is not any more spiritually closer than that person. I know that for a fact. That's a fact, bro. I know that in my heart.
What we say is that Muhammad, peace be upon him, never came to bring manners, the correct manner. He came to perfect it. So we believe that mankind within them, they have a certain inclination to goodness. So we're not saying that the only good ever in the world can only come from Islam. Yeah. So we acknowledge that mankind has an innate belief within him. What the prophets do is call to that innate belief and tell man and remind people about that. Okay. So when you're saying that you take from everybody now, you're taking from beliefs. You're taking from everybody. There's some beliefs that are mutually exclusive, that contradict each other.
No, in principle, if you take away all of the personal beliefs from any religion and you just deal with the principles, every one of them saying the same thing.
Okay, look at this now, yeah? If I'm a person now I'm good to you, I'm kind to you, yeah? I just know you on road, I see you, walk around, you cool, and I'm good to you. But you know that I'm not good to my mum. Would you say I'm a good person?
Good person.
No way.
Straight up, that's simple.
No, but I was trying to find out what a good person is. You get me?
Good person is a person that looks after his mum.
Yeah, a good person is a person that looks after. Like, I don't understand how that fits.
I'll tell you why. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Thank you for your patience, by the way. I'm getting there. So what I'm saying is this, that if I'm good to you, my level is good to you. But when it comes to priorities, my mum should be a greater priority. I'm not putting things in their proper order. Now, why do we love our parents? Why do we love our families? Why we love all of these things? Where did they come from? The Creator made all of them. So if I'm good to you now, but I'm not good to the Creator, I haven't still put things in their priority, proper places. In fact, I've done the worst crime. Because I'm good to you, I'm good to my mum, I'm good to everyone else. But to the Most High, who gave me my mother, the one who gave me my food,
I'm cool with that.
I'm bad to him. Why? Because I'm saying, you know what, we can worship him and the tree, him and the cow, him and the thing.
That's down to your perspective.
Now, what you're saying is this, if you're going to say that everybody's got their own concept of belief and they're mutually exclusive, but when we tear it away, everyone's, at the end of the day, everyone says be good to your neighbour. Now what you're doing, you're focusing on that linear thing that we've got here of how we deal, but you're forgetting how that
connection with the Creator, the Most High.
I'll tell you why. The first it's the greatest one. It's the greatest one. Because you're saying, you know what, forget about, you're not going to say this, I'm not going to put these words in your mouth, but it's as if you're saying this. Like you're going to say, you know what, that Creator, everyone's going to differ about it. You know what, just put that away as long as I'm good to my neighbour. But you're good to your neighbour because your neighbour's, you have to look after him and so forth. He's got rights over you. But your Creator's got rights over you as well.
100%.
And you haven't acknowledged your Creator's right. What is your Creator's right?
I acknowledge my Creator before I acknowledge everything else. This is the reason, is acknowledging my Creator. Why? I show love to Mother Nature because I understand that let me give you one of you like to give that analogy. Analogy.
No problem.
If I create something, or if someone you love creates something, and they give it to you, and the person who created it, you're never gonna see them. They're far somewhere. You can't see the person who created it, but they gave it to you. What are you going to do with that thing that they created for you?
Cherish it.
You're going to cherish it and you're going to look after it.
Look after it,
So
sure.
I'm saying, and how is the only way you can show love to that person?
That's true.
You can't see them or speak to them. How is the only way you can show?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can cherish the thing that they gave you.
He's talking about looking at the environment. We do look after the environment.
And there's hadiths that back me up on this as well. You know what I'm saying?
There's a slight distinction.
Who did Allah love the most? The one who loves his creation or something.
The Rahman, it's called the Rahman. Yeah.
What we've conflated two issues, kind of confused two issues, is that there's people that will eat, sleep, and fornicate and just cohabit with their women or whatever. Or some people cohabit with men or whatever. All of that,
That's lower self. Yeah.
That's the next thing. They're like cattle. In fact, they're worse than cattle because they have an intellect. They have an intellect, but they don't use it. They just the sun came up. Come down tomorrow, that's it, I'm just going to carry on working. Just going to pay my mortgage, I'm going to watch EastEnders, and that's it, I'm not bothered about anything else. Now, if you actually reflect and look at the handiwork of God, look at God's creation, and how that in that creation, by looking at it, reflecting it, you can see that there's mercy in all of those things. You can see that from the sun, we get vitamin D, we get our sunlight, we get life for the crops. From the clouds, we get rain that brings the vegetation. 100%. From the tree, we get oxygen. So when you understand all of these things, you're not a person that's just gonna be like, oh yeah, it's there, you know what, it's there, so what? You're gonna be like, no, this is
science.
This is science for me, and I'm grateful for this.
100%.
Who am I grateful to?
The Creator.
The one who put it all there. That's why Allah says in the Quran, don't worship the sun.
How can you be
I'll
grateful?
tell you. Don't worship the sun and the moon, rather worship the one who created the sun and the moon.
Okay, let me just give you two examples.
I'll give you one example. This one, I'll give you two examples. Just to summarize this. Your mother made you a banging food. Big, nice food. Everything organic, everything healthy. What's your favorite food? Anyway, that one. Yeah?
Cannabis.
Mango. I'm thinking of mango. One of them fruits.
Herbs.
Your mother gave you a nice, whole, healthy meal. Now, as you're eating the meal, you're looking at the rice. I don't want to be stereotypical and say you only eat rice and peas. Yeah, we're using rice. You say rice, yeah. You say rice. Man's eating rice, and he's looking at the rice and he's saying that, you know what? I thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your mum's still in the kitchen, you ain't said nothing to her. But you're looking at the rice, you're like, this rice, bang. Thank you so much, rice. You look at the rice, you're like, no, thank you, rice. And your mum, she's the one that sweated the whole day.
100%.
She's the one that done the action.
Thanks to the Creator, 100%.
So who do you think now? If you just thank the sun, now who put the sun there? If you just
I'm not saying thank the sun though.
That's what I'm saying. So
this is where
you have to thank and be submissive in your nature because you know that you're in debt to him.
He said, how should we do it?
You're in debt to him. Now, you're going to have your way to do it. I'm going to have my way to do it. He's going to have his way to do it. Now, what is better? Okay, I'll give you another example. And I'm going to hear your two examples. I'm not forgetting you, yeah? If you want to give a gift to someone that you love, would you give them a gift that you want or a gift that they want? A gift that they want.
Yeah, straightforward.
Okay. So now, if I want to please my Creator, if I'm going to give him however I want to worship him, that's not necessarily what God wants from me. So we need to understand now that we're in the submissive state where we're open to guidance from God and wanting this guidance from God.
Okay, this is where I see this one. Yeah.
Give me your two examples as well. I ain't forgot.
I'm fully on worshipping God. That's what I do. How many times do Rastas pray? Rastas pray 100 times a day. Even the way we greet people is meant to be a prayer. You get me? When we eat, we say a prayer. When we hit the road, we say a prayer. We say a prayer. We give thanks for the birds. Give thanks. Rasta just give thanks. That's why you hear that. But now we're close. That's a prayer.
Going back to what I said earlier, we're closer now than a person that doesn't do that.
Not if I'm giving thanks, because this is how it comes down to. There's someone who could say the best religious, be praying to the Most High, worshipping the Most High. But if their words, deeds, and actions don't balance upon that whole thing, then we have destruction.
That's
now,
true.
if we have someone who has the words, deeds, and actions of following the Prophet Muhammad Christ like that, living that way, in that manner, trying to be like
striving,
but they don't necessarily have this side. I would say this way is better. I'm not saying it's the way.
Say that again.
And if someone has the words, deeds, and actions.
Words, deeds,
words, deeds, and actions.
Words, deeds, and actions,
And like the Prophet Muhammad, they're trying to be like
good
the Prophet
character.
Muhammad. Good character.
In action.
But but they don't have the other side of actually just praising, I would say the world would be in a better place. And the reason why I would say that is because if I create something and I give it to you, like I said, I believe in praising the Most High, yeah? But I'm saying if I create something and give it to you, my main thing, I think personally, is going to be for you to look after that. I don't really need your praise. Like, I wouldn't ask for your praise. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when we're thinking that God needs our praise,
He doesn't need our praise.
He deserves it.
He deserves it.
Yeah, no, but
Deserves
I'm saying when we say that, I believe we're kind of putting human connotations onto God. Do you know what I'm saying? That's my personal belief.
If I give you £1 million, what are you going to say to me? If I save your life,
but I'm saying God, he's not going to really worry about all of that.
No.
He's got roads to run and streams to make sure they flow.
It's not about God, it's about you. Watch this.
100%.
Watch this. If I save your life, there's a car coming out and I drag you out of the way and I save you from it, what are you going to say to me?
I'm going to say thank you, brother, you saved my life.
Do I need you to say thank you to me?
Huh?
Do I need you to say thank you to me? Or do I deserve it?
No, you deserve it, 100%.
So the creator who gave you a life in the first place, he don't need your praise,
100%.
but he deserves it.
He does.
deserves it.
What I'm saying, even if someone doesn't give that praise in the way that I see fit, it doesn't mean that they're not giving praise.
No, because
This is
remember,
my point.
it's not about giving a gift
and the
that
reason
you
why I
like,
say that,
you have to give what God likes.
No, but the reason why I would say the reason why I would say
why you
that
have to be open
the reason
to
why I would say
accepting the
that
prophets.
is because a lot of people from like the Western side of religion, even Rastas that are more biblical, would tell you, oh no, the Egyptians they worship the sun, but the reality is no one didn't worship the sun as God, yeah? The same way black people till this day when we come out and we see the sun, we get happy, we give thanks for the sun. It was the same sort of...
they would worship
it was
Osiris, they would worship Ra, they would
the
worship
same sort of
Seti,
reverence.
they would worship
No, these were principles.
No.
Neteru,
No.
I'm telling you bro, I'm not asking you. I don't need to define to you what,
I'm just saying based on
what
history.
Islam is.
No, I'm saying
no,
not about
you're talking about the Western Egyptology.
The laws of my art.
About,
the laws of my art. One of the laws of my art is stealing food from the gods, plural.
Yeah.
I haven't stole.
Gods wasn't a word in Egypt.
What was it then? What was it?
Neteru.
No, that was the essence. They still had because why is there plural then? Why is it mentioned in plural?
Because they represented different principles.
No.
Yeah.
That was,
so for example,
when
you saw let me show you.
What's a deity? What's a deity?
When you saw a dog, when they done a thing of a dog, it was the principles of good judgment, So where you got this whole concept of, or the oldest concept of afterlife, comes in Kemet, where they have ma'at, where you're getting judged. If your heart weighs lighter than a feather, then you go to judgment. They use the dog. What do we use when someone's blind today? A dog. Why? Because a dog has good judgment. So what it was is the ancestors were seeing nature. This is before the concepts of religion had come on. This is even before the Hebrew religions had come about.
Because what religion really means, religion is what your heart is tied to. Everybody has a religion. Even if you're atheist and you just work in a bank and you've got a religion. Religion means in both Arabic and in the language we speak in English. Religion comes from, I think it's the Greek or the Latin. Religion, what your heart is tied to tie something. Yeah. So everybody's got a religion.
I ain't got a religion, I got the legion.
That's fine.
I didn't expect a religion. I'm like Adam. Like the first man, like Samson and these men. But they were just natural
We're going to go to so I'm just getting the last bit.
That live by the earth. Their hair grows.
Sorry.
Yeah. And this is this comes back to Rasta, just to finish up for the Rasta thing. Rastas live like Adam, like the natural man. You get me? So their locks grow, they live at one with the earth.
They don't really, they follow Bible.
Rasta will say, no. Rastas follow many different things. You have Muslim Rastas, you have Christian Rastas, you have Bible Rastas, 12 tribes, you have Nayabinki, you have Kemet Rastas.
Where's believe their base?
The base is Haile Selassie.
Haile Selassie who worship Jesus. Again,
Muslims don't believe that. You have to.
You're missing the point.
But what I'm saying, the reason I mention that, because you said you got Rasta Muslims and Rasta. Muslims don't believe that.
No, but they are Muslims. Like obviously,
we don't have Rasta Muslims. Doesn't make any sense.
That's true. Is there a prophecy that when the bloodline of David and the bloodline of Muhammad comes together, the Christ will be there? Is there any prophecy?
I don't know about that. What I'm saying, sorry.
Do the research.
Please, hear me out.
Empress Menen, Selassie's wife, is meant to be, I don't know, she's meant to be from Muhammad's bloodline. I need to speak to Kalam about it.
Okay, my point, no.
Anyway, differently from that, this is what we're saying about Rasta. It was a natural order.
It's not. It's based upon Haile Selassie, who is a Christian.
No.
So you have influence. You have a big influence. Christianity.
Selassie's Christianity didn't say that you have to be a Christian. Selassie's Christianity didn't say that you have to be a Christian, Muslim or Jew. Selassie's Christianity was about words, deeds and actions.
I'm saying.
When Rastas saw this, they saw a man who wasn't trying to convert them or trying to bring them into something, still teach them righteousness.
According to, again, sorry, again, hear me out. According to who? That righteousness. According to who? Those righteousness. Because who define what is righteousness?
Bro, it's righteousness.
According to Haile Selassie.
No, not even cool. Bro, when the Italians fought with Haile Selassie and he beat the Italians, he didn't kill them. He sent them home.
I understand that. Keep going off.
Haile Selassie was a righteous king.